What?
What?
Macaulay Culkin has been cast in Fallout Season 2.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it is awesome.
Fallout was so good, dude.
I was thinking about it the other day about how good it
It's
was.
it's really, really good. I gotta get
How
Kyle to watch it.
how has Emmett played 12 hours of Call of Duty 2? Are the servers still up for that?
No. Or unless if there's, like, the private servers and whatnot.
Bro fucking sucks at the campaign then.
I'm really enjoying Black Ops 6, it's a lot of fun. I know you hate it because you hate first person stealth.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen it described as the COD game for people who don't like COD. And like, yeah, that's fair. I stopped playing after the second zombie segment and was like, all right, this is fucking stupid. I'm done.
In the
Stop putting,
campaign, there's
stop putting,
zombies?
yeah, because they're hallucinations, which is like they've been doing it since Black Ops 3.
Oh.
There's always like a zombie hallucination scene. Ever
Oh.
since Black Ops 3, all their campaigns have had one.
That's some bullshit.
And they're really fucking stupid. Um, and they suck. And they had one of the, it was an entire mission this time. And then you have another hallucination scene like in the last mission of the game, and there's a zombie part, and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not finishing this game. I'm like right at the end, but I'm like, I'm not doing this. It's fucking stupid. So I stopped.
Is it,
That
like,
being said,
hard or it's just dumb?
no, it's not hard at all. It's just fucking stupid.
Hmm.
Um, it's like I get it, people like zombies, but stop putting it into campaign.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I haven't played multiplayer, but I hear people are liking it. I really just bought it for zombies. Funny enough, I don't like zombies in campaign, but I do love the zombies mode, and I'm really enjoying it.
Hmm.
Really, really enjoying it.
I've yet to try that, of course. But I like the multiplayer. Multiplayer is really fun.
I love zombies, man. It's the only
Yeah,
reason. Like I only buy Treyarch games. Like even then I don't because I have Game Pass now. I didn't have to buy this, which is fucking awesome. But yeah, I don't buy. I haven't bought a COD since Cold War.
hasn't there only been one?
We went through 2 Modern Warfares because Cold War released early because Sledgehammer's game wasn't ready.
Oh, yeah, because there was, not Valorant, Victory Royale. What
Warzone,
was
yeah.
No, what was that one called? It's the one with the V. It's like COD
Oh,
Valhalla or something.
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah, so Vanguard, and then didn't we have was Modern Warfare 2 before Cold War? Thought it was after for some reason. Thought we went MW2 and then 3. Or it was like
Um,
MW2, Vanguard, then 3. See,
yeah, that,
Vanguard is
I
just
think.
that fucking forgettable.
Vanguard
Um,
was really fun.
I never touched it. You're the only person I've ever heard say that.
Vanguard had a really fun story. It was I've been telling people that for a while. I think it was like, um I don't know.
You're
I
also
liked
the
it.
only person I've heard say that.
Nah, I feel like it had I keep likening it to the Avengers in how you get little story vignettes of like different war battles, and then they all come together in the end because they're all like in a prison cell together telling their stories,
Mhm.
and then they like break out or something. It's worth playing. I think it was like WW2 done well. Um, I had a lot of fun with it. And then I hated the Modern Warfares. I didn't even play 3. I hated 2 so fucking much.
So I didn't. So I played like a little bit of Warzone when they put Gundam in, and that was it. And then I literally got one shot by the Car 98 at full health, and I haven't touched it since. They added that, and it's a one hit kill weapon. I was like, yeah, I'm not touching this.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
Cold War wasn't very good either. It wasn't memorable.
I actually enjoyed Cold War's multiplayer. I enjoyed that. Some of the mainly from like the map design. I liked a lot of the maps. But mostly again, I just played zombies, which I loved. They
Well,
had zombies in like Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and I've never heard anyone talk about it beyond when people were shitting on the trailers for it because it
I
was
don't
just
even know.
Warzone. It was just like
Yeah, it
Warzone.
wasn't wave-based. That's what it was.
Yeah, and it was really fucking stupid and no one liked it. Even
Yeah.
Cold War had zombies, that a version of zombies called Outbreak you could play that wasn't wave based, and that was actually fairly well received. I enjoyed it. Um but it did not look good in the Modern Warfare versions.
They gotta bring back, Infestation or whatever it was called. The alien one.
Oh, that fucking hate that. That
Everybody
did
loved
not
it.
do well. No, I did
Yeah,
not
it was
like that.
great.
A lot of people did not like it.
Oh, they loved it.
Um, God, I fucking hated that first map, and the fucking boss zombie had way too much fucking health. I remember that thing taking fucking ages to put down. Oh my god.
That was Ghost, right?
No, no, that was Infinite Warfare.
What? Oh,
Infinite
I'm talking
Warfare
about the
had
Ghost one.
oh, yes, sorry. I'm thinking, because the first Infinite Warfare zombies is on, like, a space, like, themed,
Oh,
like a theme park map, and I'm confusing it. Yes, Extinction. Extinction is fucking awesome,
yeah, that
and
one.
I missed that and want it back. Extinction was cool as hell. My apologies to, Extinction. I would never shit talk you like that.
I think Ghosts is one of the better COD games
I think
in
it's fantastic.
hindsight.
I didn't like multiplayer a lot, mainly from the map design. That's a pretty cold take. A lot of people did not like the maps, and I definitely agree. I
Mhm.
think it had a lot of hit reg problems as well. Like I still distinctly remember just shooting people and nothing happening. Um, but Extinction was awesome. The campaign's awesome. We're never gonna get a fucking follow up to that, which sucks. So that's my thoughts on the topic. Um, but yeah, back to this though. I will say with Black Ops 6, it kind of sucks that the campaign like did that to those stupid zombies because I fucking love Adler.
Mhm.
Adler is such an entertaining character. He's clearly like an ontologically evil piece of shit,
Yeah.
right?
He's like a
But
war hero
man,
gone
do
bad.
I fucking love him. Like, and it's like he's not like a outlaw with the heart of gold. No, he is just evil.
Mhm.
He's an evil CIA operative. He is fucking terrible, but man, is he fucking charming. You know? Everyone fucking loves Adler, like, and I agree. Like, I was surprised how little they struggled to put in a character to, like, replace Alex Mason, but
Mhm.
they did it.
Yeah, I don't like the guy that I don't like that you're faceless though.
Yeah, they did that again, I noticed, where it's like, "Okay, you're, like, this brainwashed guy."
Yeah. Like
But,
the
like
more forgettable CODs had you as a memorable character.
yeah, they see, I think it was fine in Cold War because that the plot revolved around it and, like,
Mhm.
this reveal, um but then when you get to Black Ops 6, it's like the bio weapon they're trying to unleash literally turns people like literally it's part of the hallucination is like it was supposed a serum to make super soldiers, but instead it just made people go berserk. So the hallucination is they're not going berserk, they're fucking zombies ripping each other apart. Um
So dumb.
and you were the only successful trial,
Oh,
so
fuck off.
you're a super soldier, yeah, and like the first zombie mission, you just find all of this out, and then it doesn't really matter at all going forward.
Because you don't get powers or anything.
No, no, you're just like faster and stronger than other people, faster reflexes and stuff. Um,
It's like they
uh,
write it in, that's how you can survive bullets.
yeah, I like that, and it's like, yeah, this is why you have Omni movement, I think. And literally, it's the one mission, and then just like never again. It's like never brought up or anything, and it's like it's like it's related to the bio weapon, but I'm like, why have this at all? Like, it's very clearly just an excuse for them to have this zombie hallucination, and that's it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
I don't give a shit about that at all. So you say
Yeah,
it's like the COD game for people who don't like COD. I think it's just not a COD game. It just
it's just
doesn't.
not a COD game for the campaign. Everything else is great. It's just
Yeah.
that. Unfortunately, I also have to go through the COD launcher, which sucks.
Oh, gross.
The COD launcher is fucking awful.
It's stupid on the console too.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it's because it has quick resume, but because everything is like online,
Yeah,
anytime
it
you
just
go
doesn't
back to
work.
it, it's like, no, restart everything. And then you got to go
Yep.
back to the beginning. And then it's like,
I will
pick up
say the
where
COD
you
launcher
left
used to
off.
be even worse. With when it was Modern Warfare 3 era, that COD launcher was fucking unusable. Couldn't I straight up it straight up took me like 8 minutes to figure out how to get to Warzone.
Oh,
Fucking awful.
Jesus.
Fucking terrible experience, dude.
Ugh.
Um, Gundam.
So Gundam.
Gundam, yeah.
We've
Hope you
done it
enjoy editing
again.
out that fucking 20 minutes.
Oh, it's staying. It's staying because I don't think we'll have too much to say about Gundam. VGU Gaiden presents Oh Say Can You See? A Beginner's Guide to Gundam. Episode 2 Mobile Suit Gundam III Encounters in Space. So hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of VGU Gaiden. My name is Graydon. I am joined tonight by the irreverent DJ Risio.
That's me.
That's you. And
Hold on, I gotta look up the definition of irreverent.
yeah, I think it's good. It's a good one.
Irreverent
Irreverent is what they tag
definition.
things on Netflix as when they mean edgy.
I mean, it's
What?
not wrong. Showing a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously.
Exactly.
That's like, it's not a compliment, but it's completely true.
That's, I think, a word they made for you. It's
Really did. I'm really good at that.
Well, today we're talking about I've never given the subtitles of these films, but
Well,
this
the
one
first one didn't have one, and I think we mentioned it in our last recording that the second one is Soldiers of Sorrow.
okay.
Um,
And this one
but
is
we talked about, and this one was Encounters in Space.
yes, which is not a terrible title considering I guess you don't really think about how the first two weren't in space. But this
So
one
the first
covered
one was in
space.
space mostly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first one was mostly in space, and then what happens is they get to Earth and they like and Garma dies there. Remember, I like leaned over and I told you like they're in like it's supposed to be like Seattle or something. Like the stadium they're in is like the stadium in Seattle or
Ah,
whatever. I think is supposed to be where it is. It's like somewhere in America. Um, or what was America. And so, yeah, they're on Earth for like the last maybe quarter of the first movie, the entirety of the second, because the second ends with them going back to space.
right. Right, which is weird because I knew that the second one but the second one ended with them heading to Jaburo, which is that a
Jaburo, which is in South America.
okay.
And then after the Battle of Jaburo is when they head back into space because they basically that was like the main assault by the Zeons and they pushed them back. So then they were
Right.
able to go back into space and keep fighting.
Because wasn't their plan to try to, like, take the whole white base and make it be a decoy?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because they believe that the Zeons were like overestimating the white base. Which frankly they weren't. If anything, they were underestimating them because Amuro was tearing shit up.
Right. But the whole time they thought that it was, like, not
Yeah,
worth
yeah, because
anything.
like and part of that is because the Federation didn't believe new types actually existed.
Mhm.
And I think almost everyone on the ship is a new type. I think everyone, like I'm only saying almost because I'm not quite sure on like a couple people. Like I don't know if like the specific person was, but it's like Bright Noah or like awakens to his new type abilities like at the end. Like
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, we find that pretty much everybody
okay, well his that's actually kind of strange. It says that Bright Noah is an old type, but he's capable of hearing Amuro at the end. So he should be a new type.
huh, Bright Noah. I didn't even know that was his name. I thought
Yep.
Bright was his last name.
No, no, Noah is his last name. What's also pretty crazy, is so Bright Noah, one of the best characters in like any Gundam series. He's incredible. He is 19 years old. in
No.
Mobile Suit Gundam. He is 19 years old.
What?
He is the oldest person on that ship. He is literally with the second oldest being Ryu, who died. I believe it was cut from the movies, but there's this scene in the show where where Noah he sort of I think in the show he's talking to Mirai, and he's saying like I don't want to hit these kids, but they need to get in the fucking mobile suits. Like, we're all going to die. Like, I have no choice but to be this man that they hate so much in
Mhm.
order for us all to survive. And you realize that he's making all of these incredibly hard decisions at such a young age, and because he really is thinking of everyone.
Yeah, he's gotta step up and be a leader.
He is absolutely incredible. He shows up in a ton of stuff. So because he's in Mobile Suit Gundam, he's in Zeta, he's in Double Zeta, he's in Charged Counterattack, he's in Gundam Unicorn, and he's in Hathaway.
Wow.
He is incredible.
And he never dies.
No,
Not yet.
not yet, because
Because
he I
Hathaway is part of the canon, right? It's just still
yes,
being
Hathaway
made.
is in the canon. It just never got it just never got like animated until now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so he's the oldest by a year, with the second oldest being Ryu, who's 18, and he dies.
Wow. How old
And
is,
then
Mirai?
Mariah, I think, is about his age. Hold on,
Because
I
she
just saved
seemed to
her.
be
She is 18.
okay. Wow. So, yeah, it's a ship full of kids.
Yeah, it's and I love Mariah. So I mentioned to you he marries Mariah
Mhm.
after this, and he has their child Hathaway, and they have a daughter as well. Uh, Kaimin Noah. I don't know how to pronounce that. You see her pretty briefly in Char's Counterattack, and I think she appears in Zeta as well. Um, I don't really know much about her, or like if she's really done anything. I don't. Nope, she hasn't really done much.
Hmm.
Yeah, she looks like her mother. She showed some interest in the Gundam Mark II, and that was it. There's nothing else on her character page.
He
Um,
showed some interest in it.
Hathaway though, Hathaway's quite the fucking page.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I didn't have any frame of reference, obviously, when we kicked this off with Char's Counterattack. Like, not the series
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
listening
which is
to,
like
but
sacrilege, by the way, that like I had you start with Char's Counterattack, but I was like, this is how I'm getting him. This is how I'm going to get him to get into Gundam, is by showing him Char's Counterattack, because he's going to like it.
it's definitely a way to get excited about it. Um, but it's also not. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm spoiled by things. I mean, A, I don't remember all of it,
Yeah,
but
I
B,
mean, really, it's that you can't truly appreciate Char's Counterattack by watching it on its
mhm.
own. And oh, and I wanted to mention the other day, I saw this clip. So remember in Char's Counterattack when they all get together to try and push the meteor back from Earth right at the end?
Uh-huh.
I saw that, and it was playing the Like a Prayer choir version from
Oh my
Deadpool
god.
and Wolverine, and I fucking cried.
Oh yeah, that freaking song will
I
make you.
fucking cried, and it was so good. I was like, "Oh my god, it's perfect."
That
I
is
was
the
like,
best
"Oh
part
my
of that
god,
game.
I have to be kinder. I have to be a better person."
To be
Like,
kinder. No, you're irreverent and you're staying
like
that way.
it's just like I felt like fucking Kratos at the end of like God of War 2018. Like,
We must be better.
like that's how I felt, dude.
Optimus Prime speech.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Um,
that movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, did you see it?
no, not yet. I need to watch it still. I've heard it's very good. Yeah, I
People
when I stopped by your house and you weren't there once again, your dad started talking to me about it after saying goodbye, and then I didn't leave. Um,
that sounds like my dad. Um, no, people have taken to, like, looking back on it super negatively and just being like, "Oh, it wasn't a good movie, it ju none of it made any
I mean,
sense," and
everything I've seen about it, I mean, like, would I call it necessarily like this art piece? No, but it looks like it's fun, and I think that's all it needs or wants to be,
yeah, it's a
and that's good
good
enough for me.
a good thing to come to the MCU, which is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So, I
Um,
mean,
but
yeah, I
anyways,
definitely
Gundam.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
So
was
I
gonna
want to. I also want to just quickly discuss like how some of the relationships go after this movie. So I mentioned, um, Mirai and Hathaway get married. Or Mirai, sorry, Hathaway. Sorry, I have Hathaway's fucking page open right now. Mirai and Bright get married, and they have their son Hathaway and their daughter, however you pronounce her name. And but one thing that I mentioned to you is that it's pretty obvious roughly halfway through these films that Frau has basically lost interest in Amuro because he's so consumed by like just war and PTSD at this point that he just doesn't pay attention to her. So she ends up with Hayato instead. And
Mhm.
Hayato and her they adopt the three children that were on the ship that were on White Base. They also have like two kids, I want to say. See here.
Okay. I wouldn't wanna have more kids if I had to deal with those fuckers.
You fucking hate those kids so much. I
I
think they're
hate those kids
adorable.
so much. I hate them, and I think it comes from the fact that I don't watch a lot of anime, so when I'm faced with this character that just has this loud it's mainly the girl, like, this
The one who does like
loud
all the talking for the kids.
annoying ass just yelling constantly, and it feels like how people always blame, like, the animal for being comedic relief in, like, a Disney movie, like, she is that, and I'm no, just get her out of there. Every
Oh,
time they were
I
like,
think I
"Oh,
think
we
she's adorable.
we have these kids and we gotta protect them. We gotta get them off the base," like, just leave them there. It's fucking sick of them.
Oh my god, yeah, those I think the kids are adorable. I do think the scene where they take um the bombs off of the GMs at Jaburo is a bit too long.
That the ending
Um
of the second one?
yeah, yeah. I think like that scene's a bit too long. I think I mentioned that in our last recording.
Yeah,
Um
because I feel like it
but
it
like I don't even they even have any lines in the third movie?
um,
Beyond like at the very end when their new
yeah.
type abilities awaken?
No, I
I
did
think that
notice
was
there
like
wasn't a
it.
lot of them. Yeah, there was just, like, little scenes of them, like, floating around,
Yeah,
which
and
was
like
funny.
yelling and whatnot as the um yeah, so anyways, they adopt the kids there. Amuro basically goes on and is sort of like a guinea pig for new types because the Federation believes in them now and is interested. And
Mhm.
he is basically on house arrest for like the next so many years until Zeta Gundam. Where they just
Okay.
keep him like locked. He owns a mansion. He's like very rich. I don't think it's ever confirmed why. Some people assume that since he is a brilliant inventor, maybe he just sold off patents and stuff. Like he invented Haro, the little robot that you love,
Oh,
the
really?
mascot thing. Yeah, so he invented Haro. He invented Haro as a friend because his dad was never around.
Even though the kids ended up with him?
So I mean the kids end up with him, yeah, but he created it. So there's a theory that maybe he sold off the patent for it as like a toy or something. But
Oh.
again, this is never confirmed, but he's like he does live in a huge mansion in Zeta Gundam.
Does he kinda, like, just lose all sense of self and just become
Pretty
like a
much,
war machine?
he's very much kind of a broken man come Zeta Gundam.
I mean, everyone
And
he's
and they
fallen in
they
love
have
with
to
has
like
died.
reignite the fire in him, kinda. Um, so that's what happens with him. Kai goes on to I think he becomes an investigative journalist. He shows up in Zeta for a little bit. I love Kai.
Yeah, Kai's great.
Um,
Kai
here,
had the shining moment in the second one. That whole
um,
relationship with that
oh,
girl was
yes, it's one of my favorite episodes in Gundam. I was very worried that they would actually skip that, and I'm very glad they did not.
was that,
Um,
like, 1 episode?
it's one episode, yeah.
Wow.
They basically showed most of it actually.
Yeah,
Most of that episode was in movie 2,
because they coulda cut that part out, but,
which
like, that
we will get
felt
to for movie 3 because movie 3 cut out a lot.
really
A lot.
but it's, like, the longest one.
They're all about 2 hours.
Oh, this one felt like the longest, definitely.
So this one for me personally felt like the shortest, but they're all about 2 hours. So sorry, just trying to remember if there's anyone else I'm forgetting about like important things with them
So
that
does
sort of happen
Frau
after.
continue to exist?
Yeah, Frau continues to exist. Again, she marries Hayato. They have some
Oh, right,
kids,
you
and they
said
they
that.
adopt the
Yes.
3. Um, oh, yes, Sayla. Um,
Yeah.
so I mentioned you don't really hear from Sayla again. Her voice actor, I forget if she died or if she was sick and they didn't want anyone else to voice her, so she does not come back.
Hmm.
And so you see her briefly in Zeta. She doesn't have any lines, but there's this speech that Char is giving to like everyone in like the solar system that he's speaking to them. And you see her like I think she's on a beach and she's like listening to it on the radio. Um and it's this very emotional scene that's only like a few seconds long. But it's like, oh my god, like there she is.
There she is. Yeah, but it seems weird that she wouldn't have, like,
So
just as a character, that she wouldn't have pursued
it does
any
feel a
further.
little strange, yeah, a lot of people, honestly, myself included, say that, like, she should have died instead of Lala Soon,
Yeah,
that it would've made more sense,
because you know
um,
more about her.
exactly, you are more attached to her, but, the reason why you kinda get Lala Soon as well is that, like, it immediately displays and helps you understand exactly what new types are with them being super empaths. Her
Yeah.
and Amuro met once and immediately understood each other like they've known each other their entire lives. So her role in that is very important. Um, but yeah, so that's what happens with Sayla. So at least she really does leave war as a whole though, which is good.
Mhm.
As for Char, Char becomes Quattro Vagina.
Yes.
Or in some older translations, Quattro Vagina. I'm not kidding. If you find like really old kits, like from the 80s, the decals might still say Quattro Vagina.
Get out.
Yes, yes, that's a real fucking thing. That is a there are like really old posters you can find. Um yeah. They from what I understand, they corrected it like pretty quickly, but there are still some old versions out there of like merch that you can find that still say it. I've
Jeez.
fucking seen it myself. It's crazy. But so Quattro Vagina, Quattro Vagina, um, is his name, and it's basically just his alias. He's sort of undercover, but everyone knows he's Char. There's literally a scene where they're all like, "Dude, we know you're Char," and he's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." They're like, "We know you are Char." He's like, "I've never met Char in my life. I don't know who this Char is."
But he's not,
Um,
like, brainwashed, he's just playing an act.
no, 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 no. It's because now he's fighting back against space forces.
Hold on,
Um,
does he have, like, a super cool gold mech suit?
the Hyakushiki.
Jesus.
The Hyakushiki is amazing.
Why
I
does
have the
every one of
master grade.
his look awesome? Like, every suit he
The
has.
Hyakushiki is like pretty iconic. I'll put a GIF in there for you.
Wow.
Yes, the Hyakushiki is amazing. It's I mean it's in my top 20 for sure. I don't know if it's top 10. I'd have to like really think about it. But the Hyakushiki is like pretty amazing.
I love how we've talked about the comparisons to other things like Star Wars and whatnot that this has drawn upon, but, like, what am I trying to say? Char's whole regime, like the Xeon regime, they have such cooler suits, and I
Their
feel like
suits are really fucking cool.
that's referenced in a lot of other media where, like, the bad guys just look cooler.
Yeah, they got to stop doing that, man. They got to stop making the bad guys look so cool, man. It's really fucked up, man.
That
You know where they did it really good was in Wolfenstein: The New Order. Because yeah, they had cool armor for the Nazis, but BJ was fucking killing it in the bomber jacket. So like,
he's the
and then
one example.
and then in Wolfenstein 2, he just has the yellow jacket, and I'm like, ah, where's the bomber coat, man? I want the bomber
Yeah.
jacket back.
But your Turn A Gundam, that's a good guy, right?
Uh, I mean, in Turn A, yeah, but the Turn A Gundam itself is debatable, and like what happens with Turn A. Turn A is.
He's he's seen some things.
Did you see the photos I posted? With the new, I got the moonlight butterfly effect with the butterfly wings.
I read something about it, but
I posted it on both BlueSky and Twitter.
I gotta
It
go
has like
check
this
it.
beautiful like silhouette. that it created because I went to take a picture in like the morning light as it came through the window, and it made this beautiful like silhouette behind it. It's incredible.
What?
Um, oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah, yeah, you should go take a look at that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that dude. I sat there and was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really fucking cool.
So what's the Moonlight Butterfly?
Those are so it does that when it releases its nanomachines, which can rearrange matter at the atomic level.
Okay.
It literally resets Earth civilization by coating it in a new layer of topsoil. It's kind of
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
insane. It's literally designed for intergalactic warfare. It's supposed to be able to literally take on, at minimum, like an entire planet worth of an army on its own.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
See, that's the kind of shit that's what irritates me, is that so outlandish what you just said. That's the kind of shit that would make me be like, "Fuck this.
See, so here's
What
the
the
thing.
fuck is Gundam?"
So here's the thing: is that is the craziest, like, as powerful as it gets in Gundam. That is probably the absolute weakest in terms of being a super robot. This is
Jeez.
a real robot series, and then there are super robot series, which are like classic sort of robot stuff, where it's like, oh, the robot basically just has absurd superpowers. Um,
Okay.
and also in Turn A Gundam, when it does that, and it coats the planet in a new layer of topsoil, is a flashback from like 1,000 years before. It only has enough nanomachines to do stuff in like a close vicinity now, and is like mostly broken. So like everything is just nerfed. But yeah, um, how the fuck did I get here? How do we?
Because I said the Turn A looked cool.
Oh, right, because the Kyakushiki look cool, which it does.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, Quattro pilots that, but
So then he comes back in Chars, which we
he,
will talk
so
about,
he
I
he
guess, when
comes
we get
back.
there.
So he comes back after original Gundam and comes in Zeta. He is not in Double Zeta, and then he's in Charge Counterattack.
Is there a different bad guy in Double Zeta?
Yes, Double Zeta is Haman Karn, who leads Neo Zeon. When she falls, he basically takes over.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and also there's also again I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's Dozel's daughter. The little like redheaded girl, like where he says like to his blonde wife, the redheaded daughter. I don't know how she
Oh,
has red hair,
his
and they're like,
baby that he sends away?
yeah, yes, she comes back as a pilot in Neo Zeon. I believe she's a clone. It's been a while since I've seen Double Zeta. And I'm pretty sure it's her. It's been a while. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's her. It's like a clone of her. And
Huh.
she's like the cyber new type pilot.
So why does Char is there like a reason that he goes away? Because like if someone else was in power, he would fight to seize that power.
Char basically needs to figure out what the fuck he's doing. Like he's sort of convinced to rejoin Xeon. And then Char's counterattack is basically him having like a midlife crisis. Like
Okay.
there's a lot of also context, but like in that time with Double Zeta and before Char's counterattack that I don't have. I think there's a lot of it that's in like a manga and stuff, but I haven't like read any of that. There's no animation for it. Again, that's what I've been told. If there is a manga that covers that, I don't know where it is, and I don't know what the name of it is, but that's what
Is
I've been told. Um,
is Char's counterattack a manga?
no, no, Char's Counterattack is a movie. There is a novelization version though, which is
Uh,
the original version that Tomino wanted to do. It has slightly different mobile suits. Instead of the new, you have the high new, and instead of Sazabi, you have the night. Um, is slightly different. They confirmed a KI at the end. At the end of movie, they're MIA, and they're always listed as to this day. Book, they're confirmed flat out dead.
okay.
Also, Amuro is depicted as a family man.
Huh. What was the not the Suzabi, but what was it called?
Nightingale. It's a lot bigger.
Nightingale. Looking that up.
It's like huge. It's got a
Oh,
big
look at
penis.
that thing.
Got a big
It
dick.
does. It does have a big
Yeah,
penis.
the Nightingale's pretty cool. It's
Wow.
huge. Like the high grade is bigger. Like the high grade is it's fucking huge. It's just it's very big.
Does
Like
it
the high
still fight Amuro's regular Gundam?
no, he has the high new.
Ah,
So
yes,
you
yes,
know
yes.
how the new Gundam had those funnels like that like one side is like a wing that it had?
Yeah.
So instead it has basically like they're almost two like dragon wings. And like each little like rib on those wings is one of the funnels. It is very cool. I love the high new. I like the new Gundam more. I like the asymmetry of the new Gundam, but the high new is very good.
Why in the book do they have different ones?
I don't actually know. I'm not sure. I think they do have the new and Sazabi, but I think they upgrade at some point or something like that. I'm not sure. I think it's something along those lines.
Huh.
But that's what happens with that. You want to actually talk about the movie?
Yeah. I mean, I like the other ones. I didn't really make exactly. Well, I did. No, I did make notes for the other ones, but I didn't hear because we saw this one in a
Because we were
theater.
in a
And
theater and I had to yell at some people.
yeah, I
I had to
guess I
I had to
could have.
I had to break out my 12 years of Spanish class.
I guess I could have whipped out my phone and taken notes the whole time, but I chose to be nice about it. So I mean, you can just touch upon anything that you want.
So first of all, this is my favorite of the three. That's not really a
Really,
hot take. I think a lot of people like this one the most. Kyle said he liked it the most. This
it's the
one
most action.
so Kyle's favorites was three, and then his second favorite was the first one actually, which I was surprised. I thought he'd like the second more than the first.
Wow.
Um, so he was very excited because we like Big Zam a lot. Um,
Yeah.
so he liked Big Zam just because there's this one like old Game Grumps video where they play a Gundam fighting game, and every single time, Dan just goes, "I choose."
I think it'll be Big Zam.
So we'll just say that like randomly, and so he was very excited. He's not even like a huge Game Grumps fan. He just knows the one video, so it's just I choose Big Zam. So he was really excited for that, and I was too because I love Big Zam. But the Battle of Solomon was like less than 10 minutes, I think. Like they speed ran that. Big Zam was on screen for maybe 45 seconds.
Yeah, he was
And
not
he killed it fast. And that's like a pretty big battle in
really.
the show. They cut out like 95% of Solomon.
Wow.
Because that's like the second to last major battle of the 1 year war. And they cut out almost all of it. Like, I mean, that's where Dozel dies. So I was very surprised of that. And then again, there was also what I mentioned later, where they entirely cut out the Maku fight with the Gion that I sent you, the more knight-like mobile suit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I will say I think was the play, as weird as it is, and as much as I hate to see the Gion get cut. The fact that I didn't notice it until like a week and a half later tells me it was a good idea that they cut it because clearly it really wasn't important.
Right, but we did say that it basically it it added more context for some explosion, right?
So no, so the explosion of it happens at the Texas colony, I believe. So, but the reason that they say that it explodes is because Amuro triggers the minefield.
Right.
Now, with that being said, I think in the show they detonated a nuke
Oh, nice.
or something like that. Um, but yeah, well, I think it's like what a Makuv like just blows it up, right? Um, So I think is what happens in the show. But he's supposed to be like a master strategist. Is this whole thing? He definitely has like more of a role in the show, but they almost entirely cut him for the movie. He only has like a couple scenes here and there in like in all three of the movies. Um,
Huh. I think it was him blowing up was the explosion.
Oh, maybe it was that. Yeah,
Like Amuro just cut him in half or something,
yeah. Because if you hit the generators, they go up.
which is so cool.
Yeah. So
That's like such
that's
a neat
actually a
thing.
big thing when you get to eighth mobile suit team is that like the Xeon forces and whatnot will literally stay in villages so that you can't destroy them because
Oh,
if you do, it's just gonna kill everyone.
they're just a bomb sitting there.
Yeah, but I will say eighth mobile suit team also shows like, hey, they're actually not total pieces of shit. They're just being ordered to do that, but they are at least being kind to the villagers, and they themselves don't want that to happen either. So I'm like, okay.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, so they cut that. There's the slightly different ending that has the RX-78's last shooting,
Yes.
which is where he sort of sets it to auto, and it automatically just walks up and just shoots. He shoots the Zeong's head. Um,
Hmm.
so that doesn't happen in the original show, if I remember correctly. Um, basically the RX-78 is just done for, and he just sort of just drops it there. Um, and then they have him and Char have their little fight, and you know when they pick up the swords and start fucking sword fighting each
Yeah.
other, you don't even see them pick up the swords. They just suddenly have swords at one point.
In the show?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't
No, I
even see
kind of
them pick them
liked.
up. They just suddenly have swords.
I liked that they like stumbled upon a museum or something, and
Yeah,
they were
and
like grabbing things off the walls.
yeah, which one of my favorite parts of Gundam is how weird their view, like when making the series, of future technology is.
Hmm.
Because it's like, oh, they have like these spaceships and like these like crazy laser cannons, and then it's like that's a refrigerator from 1934.
Yeah.
Like how about the steering wheel of the ship? It's like an actual like
Yeah.
pirate ship steering wheel.
It's a pirate ship.
Um,
Exactly.
but like you would think because they move in like and because they can move in any direction, you think it'd be maybe more like that of a plane, but no, they have it as like a pirate ship. Um, like its view of future technology is fascinating to me because it's all over the place. They have like regular cars still. Um, they have regular cars that Amuro literally gets stuck in the mud and he has to get towed out by Char.
Yeah. And they
Um,
have buses. Like,
which is a
I
great
think.
scene, by the way, where with him meeting Char and him knowing who Char is, but Char hasn't awakened to his new type abilities yet, so he doesn't know who Amuro is.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, but he immediately picks up that this is Char Aznable.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
Um,
guess the biggest issue. Well, I'll sidebar that a second. I will just say about the futuristic thing. Like you can look at like Star Trek and things and just see how crazy the future is, like the hypothesized to be. But I think that Gundam is really grounded in that, uh, pretty similar to what we might do, like if we were to just, hey, a steering wheel, it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I
yeah,
think it does a good job, especially like with that little back and forth about like who Hitler is and stuff.
that
Like,
is one of my favorite scenes in all of Gundam.
it's awesome, but it
It's
also
just, you know
shows.
who Adolf Hitler was, and just yeah, he was great. He
it,
lost.
yeah.
Like his friends tried to kill him, and then sure enough, he gets fucking Gearing gets fucking a knife. His head gets he just shot
Oh,
straight through
jeez.
the fucking eyes by his sister, and then his sister's head gets fucking
Yeah,
evaporated
that
by
was
Char. That is
insane.
like the most brutal kill in Gundam. Actually,
That was
it's
crazy.
actually crazy that she just gets fucking evaporated.
Because Char leaves his sister and he's just like, yeah, I gotta go do a thing. And he's got like a bazooka in his hands.
Obliterates her. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
And I just
Um,
love, that's why I love Char, because it's like he's fucking ruthless, but he
he
also
is.
has his, like, he is grounded. It's a similar thing to why I like, characters like a Kylo Ren or something, where it's like they have something pulling at them to make them kind of relatable, but at the
Mhm.
end of the day they will murder everybody to get what they
Yeah, murder
want.
and betray everyone, and that's one. There's this incredibly iconic scene, in Zeta where Quattro claims that Char Aznable has never betrayed anyone, or he claims that like I myself have never betrayed anyone. It's like you betrayed. He betrays quite literally everyone he meets.
Yeah.
Quite literally everyone. It's
He's-
fucking amazing. It's one of my favorites. This I betrayed no one. It's
but he
fucking
probably
amazing.
believes it because he's
No,
freaking
he believes
crazy.
because he was never truly on like their side, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so, but it's really funny.
But this
But
the
he's always just such a highlight. That's why there are so many people with char profile pics on like Twitter and everywhere that are just like fucking insane.
of course.
It's very entertaining. Um,
But
what
now
did
that
you
I've seen this char, I can completely understand that scene in Counterattack where he's like, "I'm doing something terrible, Amuro."
oh,
Like,
yeah. Oh my god, and then I was like, Amuro,
Amuro, I'm doing something
wicked.
extremely
yeah, that one.
wicked.
You hear me, Amuro?
Like, yeah, that's definitely him.
Fucking so fucking funny. Um, what did you think of Lala Soon?
So that's what I wanted to say. I did not like her introduction. Granted, it was exactly at the time that these people in our theater were yelling and causing a ruckus.
Fair enough.
But I
Oh yeah,
feel
just
like
to quickly
she
divert, why don't I explain what happened? Um,
okay.
so we're in there. It's maybe about halfway through the movie or something.
Not
Um,
even.
no, you're right. I think we were maybe 45 minutes in, half hour. And this group of people comes in, and right off the bat, they're like stomping up the stairs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, sit down. And they all go up to this fucking corner, and they're all just loudly talking to each other, and they're all talking in Spanish, right? And it's like they're so fucking loud, and everyone you can tell is starting to get a little like, these guys be quiet, and it's after maybe like 3-4 minutes of it, people start yelling at them, and they clearly don't understand a word that anyone is saying. So I have to stand up with my 12 years of fucking Spanish and go, guys, cállate por favor. Gracias. And I'll say they actually did quiet down. There was just one other guy that was still loudly talking, but the rest of them did actually quiet down at least. And then maybe like a minute after that, they all like filed out. A couple people came back in very briefly and then like left again.
But they
When
showed up and just started talking like there wasn't a movie happening.
yeah, no,
Like,
it's like clearly they were just looking for a place to like hang out or something, and it's like you're in a fucking theater. Um, it was really weird. I don't fucking know, but there were some people that were ready to fucking fight them. They're like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I'm like, it's sitting there. I mean, I'm doing like behavioral therapy for myself. Like, okay, you know what? They are teens in a city area. There are no good places for young people to hang out anymore because malls are dying and it's illegal to loiter. Maybe they're just looking for somewhere to hang out. They're not bad people. They're just being kind of annoying. And
yes. But
I'm like trying to like reason with myself so I don't fucking explode.
but to be the other devil's advocate to that, we live in a world where movie theaters are also dying. And I could have gone home and watched that film on Netflix for nothing. But I spent $20 to see the movie.
Dude,
I had
yeah. By the way, like related to that with the tickets, my Godzilla minus one ticket was $7.
jeez.
7 fucking bucks. That was it.
Was that on a Tuesday?
That was Friday. That was last Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was that so cheap?
No fucking clue, but that movie changed my life.
Yeah, no, that's worth it for that, especially for a theater. But the thing is, I wouldn't have wanted to see. I'm happy I got to see this in a theater. I'm jealous you saw the other two in a theater because they probably looked awesome. But
Yeah, no,
like,
it was really good. I am, and again, even like my main thing with these is like because of like their aspect ratio and stuff. It's fine if you watch them like a computer monitor or something. You're still wrong for watching them on a phone, by the way. So don't try to interject with that. But like, cause like the aspect ratio and stuff, it's like I don't think it's a big deal if you watch them on like a monitor or a TV or something. I mainly wanted to go just for the experience because they've never been to Western theaters before.
yeah,
And same thing with Char's Counterattack. I
and
hope
like,
they bring Hathaway because Hathaway never got a theater release in the West. It
uh,
just went straight to Netflix, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, so that is what happened though. Back to Lala Soon.
just be nice in theaters is
Be
basically my
nice in
moral
theaters.
because people don't have to go to theaters for much anymore when movies come to streaming after like a week or two.
It's
But like,
especially these like these Fathom event things where it's like
Yeah.
you got like 6 people in a theater total. I will say the first Gundam movie that I went to, there were like 20 to 30 people, probably
Wow.
closer to 30 in there, which is the most packed I've ever been to like a Fathom event for.
Mhm.
There's usually only like a handful of people in the theater. There were a lot of people for the first movie.
Well, I don't know why they didn't stick with it, but I'm glad that you did, and, Lala soon. I think I think as a character, she ended up being better, by the end of it. I think the way that it did just feel a little disconnected, like,
It
if it
does. I think there needed to be more time with her, and it's like that in the show as well. It is very like, "Who is this lady?
really?
Where did she come from?" Like, it is very out of the blue, but part of that, I think, is to emphasize how new types work and how they're, like, super empaths and they can immediately connect with and care about each other,
Mhm.
and that is sort of the key to new types and why they are important.
I would
Um,
have been fine with that from, like, Armor's perspective, but I wish that there was some more like, dialogue about, like, Char knowing her for years or
yeah, no, I agree,
something.
and I definitely agree.
Yeah, it just felt like, why is he on this
So I will
planet
say the
now?
origin, which is not canon to original Gundam, it's considered a different timeline, has him encountering her like before the war, where she's like this guy's slave who was literally just using her to win like poker games by like
Okay.
having her read people's minds.
And he, like, saves her?
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
Um but and that's just in the origin, which again isn't actually canon, but I like to think that that is and that he's kind of known her for a long time.
Yeah,
And that's what sort of shifted his perspective on truly believing in new types.
that would
Um,
set it up a lot better.
yeah, no, I agree. A lot of people have issues with the origin, but I think that's done pretty well.
But
Um,
as for what she does and, like, her powers and Amuro getting sucked in quickly because of the new type thing, and I like his ability to keep, like, going back to thinking about her and trying to contact her and just having this, like, knowing that she's a force that is there, much like a Ben Kenobi on the Force, just kind of talking to him, like, she's just always a part of this new type energy that they feel, and I liked all of that. I thought it was really well done.
yeah, and so like how she dies is very tragic. It's like a total accident.
Mhm.
In Zeta Gundam, there's this girl who that Camille loves named Four, and something similar happens. She's also a new type, and something very similar happens. And Amuro and Char as Quattro are there, and they both just say like, oh my god, it's happening again."
Ah,
It's like this bone chilling scene of like, oh, because like you're like there thinking along with them, just oh my god, it's happening again.
because then it happens in Counterattack too.
Yeah, it does. It's like oh my fucking god, it keeps fucking happening. It's actually like oh my god, like it's sad with Lala Soon. It is gut wrenching every time you see it happen again because it's like it's just it's like why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep fighting each other?
But it's kind
Um,
of this culmination of, like, new types,
yes.
like, they don't know their own strength.
It's oh my god, it's they're consistently some of the best scenes. Although people really cheer when Quest dies in Charge Counterattack, even though I actually like Quest. I'm one of like 3 people who likes Quest because
I will say
people are like, "Oh, she's so annoying," and I'm like, "Yeah, have you ever met a fucking hormonal teenage girl? Like, come on." Like
the,
like 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 you ever met a girl who was obsessed with Justin Bieber, like One Direction back in the day? Come on. It's
I
just that
just
instead of that, it's Char.
I just like the guy that she's into with the jagged doga.
She's not into him.
Oh, wait, who's
She's
that
into
guy then?
Char.
He's the be
He's I forget his name, but he has a he they both pilot jagged dogas.
I guess I always picture because I picture him on, like, the one scene I can remember from that movie is him, like, on a patio with some woman, and I can't remember I always picture that as her. Who's
He
he?
does talk to her a bit, but no, I think that's with the woman who wants to be with Char, who like tries to seduce Char
Oh,
while he's drinking or whatever, and he just doesn't care. And I'm like, Char, you're a fucking loser. I'd be all over that shit. She's hot as fuck, dude. It's fucked up. Um, but yeah, so that like that thing with Lala Soon basically just keeps happening. Um, And I also want to ask you, what do you think of the new mobile suits that you've seen? So you have the GM showing up more. You have the Gelgoog. You have um the
Gotta
Zeong.
I gotta look these up as I
There's
go.
also the Gyan, which as we mentioned was cut.
Gelgoog was cool. The
I am a very
Xeon.
big fan of the Gelgoog. I remember you like audibly gasping when the Gelgoog pulled out its weapon. That's like it's like a double sided like Naginata or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, because he's got the Darth Maul
And yeah,
thing.
you immediately went, "Oh, no way!" like
Yeah,
like out loud. You
yeah,
like
that thing's
couldn't
sick
believe
as
it,
fuck.
and like I was very excited for it to pull that out because I knew you'd love it.
Yeah, I love a good double bladed weapon. Yeah, he looks awesome, and just I don't know, just those things. Like that's how I felt in the first one or the second one when he had the whip. When Rambaral had that like
Oh yes, the
whip
goof.
thing. Yeah, it was like, oh geez, they just get cooler and cooler. Honestly, that might have been how I felt with the beam saber, like the first time Amuro pulled it out.
Yeah, and like it's worth noting that I mentioned that the Gelgoog was going to be a major problem for the Federation if the war hadn't ended so soon.
Hmm.
Because like Xeon had been developing for like space combat while they basically only had the GMs, and then meanwhile you had like you had the Xeon sorry the Federation only had the GMs and the Xeon was putting out the Gelgoog which easily outclassed it. And like had making Zeongs and stuff. They had the I forget what it's called, but the thing that Lala Soon pilots, the tricorn hat thing,
Yeah.
which is the predecessor, like the first thing that has funnels. That like Amuro and Char would go on to use when they fight each other with their like, little psychically controlled like guns that come out of whatnot. That's like the first thing to use them.
Okay.
And then the Zeong uses the same thing in its hands.
Yeah, the Xeon is awesome.
I love the Zeong. I when I first saw it, I didn't care for it, and then I watched the show and I was like, yeah, that Zeong's fucking awesome.
You got to see its like origin and
You there
understand why it is that way.
like 80% of mobile suit designs for me start off with me being like, it's okay. And then I watch it and I'm like, yeah, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And
no, I
that
get it.
that happens to me so much with this. So yes, the Zeong's awesome. The Gelgoog is incredible. Um I love the Gelgoog. Again, there's the Gyan, but you don't see that in the movie.
Yeah, the Gion's cool and Big Zam. Does
The
Big Zam have a
big fucking
kit?
Zam, baby.
Did
What?
I ask that already? Is there a kit of Big Zam?
You mentioned it over text, and I was like, they made like a limited run one that's like couple feet tall or something. I think like years ago. Honestly, the one I saw might not even have been official. I'm not sure. With
144
that being
scale.
said, if they have made an official one, it's been a long time since it's been printed.
Damn.
Zam.
Zam. They have one that's not a kit, but it's like a action figure.
Hmm.
It's four, get out of here. 4 inches tall.
Holy
No fucking
shit.
way. No fucking
That's
way
really
is that
tiny.
$80 and 4 inches tall. Maybe that is a kit. It's got the oh. Anyway, a while ago, because I just still have it open, I was gonna say that Zeta Gundam 4 death. Somebody says that it's not in the movie version. Like they cut out her death.
That's really fucked up because she literally because she's a clone.
Hmm.
She dies and comes back like 3 4 times.
Oh,
So unless if she just never comes in to begin with and then they have her come in later,
but that would be a
which is
big part of it, right?
which is fucked up because they definitely should have her there.
Huh.
Um that scene's like fucking incredible. And that's on Earth. I think that's soon after Amuro joins them. So you have Amuro and Char as Quattro fighting on like the same side.
Oh, because he doesn't. What Amuro doesn't sense that that's Char.
No, he knows it's Char. That's actually the scene I mentioned where like Amuro joins their crew and that's where they all confront him and they're like, "Hey, we know you're Char, by the way." And he's like, "No, I'm not.
So
No,
why
no,
does
I'm
he
not. I
fight
don't know
with
what you're
them
talking
to be a mole?
about." Char. So no, Char is actually on their side. Um he is on their side because so they are the AUG anti-Earth Union group. Because so what happens after the war is the Federation weakened from the war. Um they basically hire this mercenary group called the Titans. And hold on one second. Sorry, I just while we were talking, I bought Dead Rising 4 because it was $5 on Steam, and then it started downloading, so I could tell my little internet thing, my ping was going up, so I had to pause that. Um, so what happens is, after the war, the Federation is pretty weak from the war, so they hire this mercenary group called the Titans, to basically police all of space, and they are just fucking tyrants. They are just fucking terrible, terrible tyrants. And the AUG is fighting back against them. Even so, it's a mix of people who were on Zeon, who were neutral, who were under the Federation, just trying to stop them.
Oh wow.
And so the Titans are the primary villains of Zeta Gundam, and then
Mhm.
Neo Zeon shows up in like the last quarter of the show or so.
Hmm. And then they become the bad guys in Double Zeta.
Yeah, they're sort of also the bad guys towards the end, but it's clear like they also want the Titans gone, so it's kind of this shaky temporary alliance.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what happens. But I wanted to loop back and talk about some of the mobile suits a little bit more. So I recently have fallen in love with the GMs, which are just like the mass produced version of the Gundam.
Mhm.
I love there's just something incredibly charming about them. That I'm just good like, I just I don't know, man. Like, and their kit is like it's like a $7 kit. You can build it in like 20 minutes tops. Like, they're super easy. Oh yeah, and we see the ball as well.
The
The little
ball.
balls.
Um,
I put a GIF in there in the
yeah,
chat for
what
you to
are
see.
those? I don't even
Yeah,
remember
they
those.
show up a bit.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah. So they show up.
Do they
Um,
fight?
uh, yeah, they fight.
Wow.
Yeah, they have like cannons on top of them, little like manipulator arms. I think they're generally intended to be more like support units, but they are sent into battle. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, I love the GM. I've really fallen in love with it. Honestly, I think it's great.
They're fun. They're like little
But
soldiers.
they're awesome. So they're the mass produced version of the Gundam. They're a little bit weaker than the Gundam, but they have beam weaponry. So
And do just
and
regular people control
yes,
them?
yep, they're
Okay.
grunt suits. And then but for me, it's like as far as this movie goes, the Zeong's probably my favorite. I love it. I love the kits. I do find the perfect Zeong, which is in a different series, really funny because it's just the Zeong, but it has legs now.
Yes.
It looks so much better without the legs.
Yeah, it looks really
Um,
freaking cool.
it's really
What
cool.
else I like
I love that the head is separated. I like that the cockpit isn't in the chest; it's in the head, and that's why when Amuro shoots it through the chest, he was like, "Wait, it's not there," and then the
yeah,
head like detaches.
the head pops off and escapes.
Yep. And there's this scene where the mono eye can like rotate up and like to the back of the head, which you actually see that there's a scene where like Amuro like flies over the top of it, and the eye just goes from looking forward to looking straight up at him,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
The Zeong is like so good.
What were those things that the Federation had that were just like 2 missiles?
Oh, they're just they're basically like space versions of the gun Perry that is in the second movie. You know where Kai and the girl pilot and where the
Oh,
girl falls
yeah.
off and dies. They're just like space versions of those.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the Xeons, both the Xeon and Federation had them.
And when the fuck did that solar ray come into play?
They had just been building it.
Like, it's like a Death Star
Yeah,
that requires them to build mirrors to
yeah. So it basically generates a ton of energy, through like solar power and whatnot to just fire off a giant fucking laser. And they literally converted like a colony into it. So it's like fucking giant.
That's
That's a
crazy.
popular thing. There's one in G-Witch as well. Um, G-Witch ending is fucking crazy because they just flat out stop the laser through fucking robot superpowers. G-Witch has its own can of worms, but I do love G-Witch, but it does have a lot of problems. Um,
Is that related to Witch from Mercury?
yeah, that is G-Witch.
Okay.
G-Witch, Witch from Mercury. It's a Gundam Witch from Mercury, so some people just call it G-Witch.
Oh, okay. Well,
One
that's a
second. It's
movie,
like
right?
40 degrees and my fan is still on. Hold up. Literally like freezing to death. 'Cause it was like almost 80 earlier today. What the hell was I talking about?
Oh, G-Witch is a show. I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a show. I love G-Witch. It's what got me into Gundam.
You know what I learned today, completely off topic, but they did you see the news that Arcane is the most expensive animated show of all time? It takes them $14 million per episode to make.
Hmm.
And you compare it to like The Simpsons takes $5 million to make.
It's kind of fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's also like definitely way too fucking much.
But it's worth it, right? You like that show.
Oh, I love Arcane. The first part of season 2 premieres on Saturday.
Well, that's probably why the news came out.
Yeah. You know, what, can we actually pause for a second if that's all
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I got to use the bathroom, so like
Okay.
Believe 人は悲しみ重ねて大人になる今寂しさに震えてる愛しい人のその悲しみを胸に抱いたままで Believe 涙よ海へ帰れ恋しくて
all right, my apologies. I'm back.
I didn't know it was gonna be that.
Dude, I was fighting demons. My life was in fucking danger. Oh,
Well, now you're cleansed of your sins.
thank God. Thank God. Gundam.
Well, I was about to pivot to the music because
Yes, because I had you listen to the soundtrack.
I mean, yeah, I listened to what was there, and all of those songs in said film were a beautiful time. I mean, honestly, throughout the whole trilogy, they have been like the music of this
Oh
show
yeah.
is just
My personal favorite is Char's theme, which is Gallant Char, which just has like these these horns and whatnot that are kind of like suspenseful, but then it just turns to like disco and it's awesome.
some of them, like the fight scenes in particular. I remember in like the first one, there's like one that really just ramps up with like a snare drum or something, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, like it just you wouldn't expect such jaunty tunes to come out of war, but
Yeah.
it's damn good. It's
And
really
so
freaking good.
oh yeah, I wanted to mention that I could have sworn in the show it happened earlier, so I thought it was cut. I'm probably misremembering, I guess. But Amuro's father.
Yes,
I could have sworn that that was something that happened like way sooner, like for some reason. Um
I don't know
like
how it could
I
have.
don't know why. I guess I was wrong. Again, it's been a while. Like I watched it originally in like December, I think, of last year. So like um
Jesus, it's
but
been
that
such a short amount of time you've been into this thing.
yeah, man. Literally almost a year ago today. It's like just over a year now because I think I started
Ugh.
like November 1st or something.
And if you had to estimate
Um
how many kits you have,
I got to be pushing 200.
Jesus Christ.
Because I stopped counting at 120 and that was back in like May or June. Here, how
So
much is
even in that, like, 6 months,
Oh
you
yeah.
had done 120.
Oh yeah. Okay, so oh no, okay,
Ugh,
no, sorry. It has been a little over a year because I finished my first kit October 5th, looking at my photos. So it wasn't
wow.
November, it was October. So but yeah.
And what was the first one?
Ariel from G-Witch,
Okay.
which I hadn't actually even watched G-Witch yet. I just saw the Ariel and liked it and decided, you know what, screw it, I'll buy a Gundam.
Nice.
And you know, it's been all downhill from there. Just been a total nightmare of buying shit constantly.
Every time you buy another one, it surprises me you don't own them all yet.
There are so many. I'll say, for the most part, I own all the ones that I really want. Like my
Hmm.
like, there are some that I really want that are out of print that I'm waiting for them to reprint. But otherwise, I pretty much own most of the stuff that I want. Like
Jeez.
I need a Master Grade Turn X. I really need, but that's been out of print since like 2013. I'm praying we get a reprint soon. Because they reprinted Turn A. I really want a real grade new Gundam heavy weapon system. I want a real grade and master grade unicorn perfectibility. And those are like off the top of my head some of the ones that I like really want.
Well, Christmas is coming, folks. You can send your payments
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. You can send me payments. You can send me Gundams. You can send me Ozempic or something.
take PayPal,
Yeah, yeah. I,
Venmo,
I take I take PayPal, Venmo, and Ozempic
and
prescription
Ozempic.
and
Is that an
Ozempic
e-currency
prescriptions.
now?
Yeah, yeah. Ozempic coin. Yeah, it's a crypto. We're scamming everyone.
Uh, well,
Um, and I wanted to also ask you if you plan on watching the new Gundam show that is on Netflix. I know your dad at least started it.
yeah, he keeps fucking talking about it all the time. "Oh, have you watched
It
it yet?"
is very good.
I
It is.
hear it's very good.
I would actually say, while it is not perfect, I think it is probably one of the best ways to start Gundam. I think
Hmm.
it's like a perfect introduction to the world
Well, that's a
and
good
sort of
thing.
like what it's about.
I mean, there's
And
so much Gundam on Netflix already,
so yeah,
all
so
that
a
stuff.
lot of the Netflix stuff. So they have the original movies. They have Charge Counterattack. They have Hathaway, they now have this series, and they have the Seed show,
Mhm.
which is a totally different universe, unrelated. Which is also getting a new anime, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
That was just announced. They got, they finally got their movie Seed Freedom, which is apparently very good. Um, but I didn't expect them to give it a prequel show, so it's getting that, which is pretty cool. Um, I think Seed's just kind of okay. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, I started it. I'm maybe halfway through the original Seed right now, and it's like it's okay.
I saw you
Like it's
writing
not
something
bad.
about it the other
Like
day.
it's not bad by any means, but like it's not great. Like it's just
Mhm.
kind of okay. Um, at least by Gundam standards, if you compare it to like the average anime, it's still like pretty good.
Hmm.
Like bad by Gundam standards is pretty good by regular standards. Um, but with that being said, I do recommend Requiem for Vengeance. It's solid. It has some like animation issues here and there, but they're really not noticeable. The worst part is probably just like their mouths moving is sometimes a little static. Um, but otherwise it looks great. The fights are like phenomenal. They're really good. And it really shows you what these like Xeon forces felt when they went up against a Gundam.
Is that the
Because
one that
they're
takes
just
place
fucking
on,
terrified.
that takes a place,
It takes place in like Romania.
but it's, not in space?
No, yeah, no, it's in Romania.
Okay. I remember when this first trailer came out, I think.
Yeah, the trailer is fucking awesome.
Is
Because
it
it's literally supposed to be like a horror,
okay.
and the Gundam is just stalking them and killing them constantly.
Jeez. Is it, over? Or is
Yeah,
it,
yeah, no. So it all released at once because it's Netflix. It's just 6 half-hour episodes. Like it's very short.
hmm,
I highly recommend watching it. It's very good.
well, I will add that to the list then. Oh, yep, yep, yeah, this trailer. Yes, I remember seeing that one. Yeah, the teaser was spooky.
Yeah, because they really show the Gundam is like they're like, what is that? And it's like you just see it like walking through the fire, and it has like its glowing red eyes. Gundam Pros is getting an order of them in this month, and I'm very excited for them. But they are cool. They show the GM in that, but it's so good. It does a really good job of showing like how the Zeons viewed the Gundam and like how terrifying it was for them.
Hmm. Okay, I'm falling down a well of looking at looking at other Gundam related things. Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely gotten me into it. It's gotten me interested. I've enjoyed the trilogy, and I think I would probably say the second one was my favorite. I mean, the
The second
third
one is very
one,
good.
yeah, the second one, I like the relationships in the second one. Like, I really love that desert scene at the bar and like the tension that's there. I love
Yeah, that's one of the best scenes in Gundam, I think.
the Kai storyline. Like, it's just there's a lot of really cool thing, and there's just a whole goof fight. Um, but 3 is definitely a close second because it's just a lot of action and a really good culmination of
Yeah,
everything.
I think it comes to a very satisfying end.
Yeah. I mean, I told you
Even though it's like you don't see the actual very end of the war, you see the final major battle and them all escaping together and
mhm.
all sort of becoming new types. It's yeah.
Yeah, I really expected it to have a not happy ending because I'm just cynical with modern day uh, cinema. but um but no, it ended up really well. It ended really well and I had a good time with it.
I'm very glad because I'm going to continue to not shut up about it.
Well, did you have more things you wish to touch upon?
Um, I think that's it.
All right. Well, Call of Duty would notwithstanding, we went for about an hour and a half, which may be our longest discussion yet on these Gundam films. But it was the trilogy as a whole, and we're not done yet because we still have to. Char's coming back around. He's got a counterattack plan, and uh, God, remember when you sent all these fucking pictures of Gundams? You and Javon just having a discourse in the fucking.
Yeah, well, he we're talking about Requiem for Vengeance. He's like, no, no, that I didn't ask was he in the show. I asked where.
Initially, I had asked Javon if he wanted to be involved in this, and then he's just hard to nail down. I think the first time that we recorded um, was like the week of the hurricane, which was barreling down upon Javon more than anyone else in VGU because he's right in Miami.
Why?
I don't know. He really, election night, I told him that he had to get the fuck out of there. I said, "You can
Fair.
come on up here. It's nice. It's nice up here."
It is pretty damn nice in New England.
uh, well, I guess I'll wrap it up. I appreciate you sharing these 3 films with me. I mean, I guess in so many words, I can now say I've seen Mobile Suit Gundam. Like I've basically watched a series, so that's something. And oh no, oh you're calling him out.
I'm just, like I would have noticed Norris.
But thank you for listening. You can don't don't go and follow us on Twitter or X or wherever. We're done with that. We're done with that shit. It's a new day, and we have a BlueSky as of today, as of tonight.
Which is
So
quite nice.
yeah. So I actually made it different because on X we were VGU Film Pod, and now on
Don't call it X.
BlueSky. What's that?
Don't call it X.
Oh, did I say X?
Yeah, you
Shit.
said X. You said X, dude.
God, no. Well, it can
You
be
gotta get a hold
whatever
of
it is
yourself,
now.
dude.
In that trash heap, we were VGU Film Pod. Now we're just VGU Gaiden at vgugaiden.bsky.social. So yeah, we already have I think more followers here than we did on Twitter because it's just a lovely follow fest this
And
past week.
it's kind of just like in on the ground floor.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get it done, especially with the starter pack. Like I'm gonna ask Emmett to throw it in there. And that's what she said. And just get added to that. You got to get added to that too.
I'm on the starter pack that he posted today.
Oh, sweet. Good. Good, good. Yeah, that's cool. I love that. I love that idea. Like the starter packs are so cool.
Yeah, BlueSky has a lot of cool stuff. It also definitely needs some things adjusted. Like
Mhm.
first of all, there's no private accounts, which is like a big one.
Oh.
That I have to like list them down because there were like a handful of things. I was like, huh, I wish this was a little bit better.
I want better thread support. I feel like it doesn't feel like it's as easy to manage,
Yeah,
like to just add
I will
another.
say there are a lot of like extensions and stuff for it because it's open source, so people can just pretty easily make them.
Yeah.
But I love the feeds feature.
Yeah. It makes it so much nicer. I've seen a lot of people be like, it's nice to have a social media where I can actually see the posts from the people I follow. And like, thank God there's no ads yet, knock on wood. Like it's just lovely. So
I'd be surprised if it got as just because it's all open source stuff. It seems just kind of like,
does that make it like not as secure?
yeah, to an extent. I think. I mean, I'm not a programmer, but I think so.
Well, so far it's been nice. I mean, it's not invite only anymore, but it's nice to not have as many right wingers on it. I do get a lot of furries though, which for the most part I hide that content.
Yeah, there are quite a bit of furries.
There's a lot of furries. But I digress. So go and follow us, VGU Gaiden over there. Please follow us on all our podcast feeds. We should be on the majority of them. And definitely follow us because we're going to be doing another one on Char's Counterattack. I don't know exactly when. We're going to try to watch it again soon. Um, I mean, hell, the first episode of this isn't even up yet by the time we're recording this, so they might just all be weekly by the time you're listening, but we'll see. Thank you very much for joining me this evening.
I'm
You.
looking at Gundam gifs.
Oh
Oh,
my
me?
god.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at Gundam gifs.
and yeah, thanks so much. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yes, my sweet, yes, my sweetest. I wanna get back where you are. 愛しい人よ、もう一度。Yes, my sweet, yes, my sweetest. I wanna get back where you are. 愛しい人よ、もう一度。Yes, my sweet, yes, my sweetest. I wanna get back where you are. 誰も一人では生きられない